Hi guys, today I'm going to run through a virtual track guide of Imola for ACC. I'm going to go through every part of the lap and I'll highlight everything you should look out for, including braking zones and where you should position your car on track. If you find this style of video helpful, leave us a like and a comment below. Imola is a track where, to be fast, you need to use the whole of the circuit. It comprises of many sweeping corners and braking zones that are just after slight bends, so you will have to master your racing line to get the most out of this circuit. You also need to be very aggressive over curbs, and you'll therefore need to have a car that is set up correctly to handle this. If your car's too stiff, many of the curbs around Imola will throw you straight off into the old school gravel traps. As we run down to the first corner, you'll notice that the track starts to narrow as it starts kinking left. During race starts, be really careful of this, as cars will start to bunch together, especially as you go past the Imola bridge and head towards the first corner, and the first corner is relatively fast. On a regular lap, you want to straighten the kinks along the main straight as much as possible. This involves staying towards the right hand side of the track straight after the start line and then drifting left as the track kinks left. On the entry, ensure you keep far right and look for a slight kink left just after the 200 metre board. You'll see the road surface start to turn black here, and you'll also notice the bright orange paint on the right hand side safety barrier. This is when you should hit the brakes, ensuring you keep the car straight while pointing your car slightly towards the curb on the far right of the track. This will ensure you have the widest line in the entry to turn 2. Look to turn in early, ride over the inside curb pretty aggressively. There are 3 sausage curbs on the inside of the corner. Aim to just glance the middle of the 3 curbs and then straighten up your car towards the fast right-hander. Again, with this right-hander, you should put about 50% of your car over the curb to shorten the route through it. Make sure you accelerate through and out of this corner. On the approach to the fast left-hander, your car should be just to the left of the darker racing line that is on the tarmac. While accelerating fully, you should just glance the inside of turn 4 and your car will naturally start to run out wide towards the right. On the approach to turn 5, stay as far right as possible and watch the brake marker boards on the side of the track. Just before you pass the brake marker that says 50, hit the brakes. You can brake really late into turn 5 and you should put your car well over the inside curb on the entry. You want to lift on the brake ever so slightly as you're trail braking through the apex. This will allow you to straighten your car through turn 5 and then back on the brakes to the entry into turn 6. On the right hand apex of turn 6, you should look to avoid the inside sausage curb. Hitting this will compromise your exit and you'll lose a lot of time down to turn 7. Turn 7 is a pretty standard slow hairpin left. Look to brake just as you pass the tarmac section to the right of the track around the 50 metre mark. Ensure your car is positioned far right on the circuit. Try to turn in a little later than feels natural. This will give you a later apex, giving you a better and faster exit down the next straight. Try to just glance the inside apex curb on the way through and pick up the throttle early, although you'll need to feather it ever so slightly on the way out. Try not to hit the throttle too hard as you can spin up your rear tyres on the exit. On the run out turn 7, you want to drift over to the left hand side of the track before the bridge. You'll then head over the crest completely blind as you drift back over towards the right hand side of the track. Ensure you're far right after the crest so you can start braking into turn 8 and brake just after the 50 metre board on the right hand side. And while trail braking, you want to just clip the inside curb while avoiding taking too much of it. As soon as you come over the inside curb, you want to accelerate as much as possible so the car drifts wide right. Keep the car under control as it can get away from you here, and it's ever so easy to push too hard and get a track limit warning by taking too much of the right hand side curb on the exit. Make sure you pull your car back to the left of the track in good time to be ready for the next corner. On the entry to turn 9, position your car with its left wheel just over the outside curb on the left. Try to hit the brakes hard on the entry, just after the 50 metre board, while keeping your car very straight, and then lift a little as you hit the apex of turn 9. Apply a little more throttle through the apex of turn 9 and allow the car to drift completely onto the outside curb on approach to turn 10. You can ride the curb all the way through the middle part of this corner sequence. You want to start braking again for turn 10 as soon as your car is straightened up out of turn 9. Try to get an early turn into turn 10, riding the curb but missing the inside sausage curb. As soon as you hit the apex, or know that you're going to hit the apex, plant the throttle as hard as you can. Focus on getting a good exit out of turn 10, keeping the car straight and running over the outside curb to straighten your exit. You can really push the limits on the exit here, riding right over the serrated part of the curb without losing too much time. The chicane of turn 11 and 12 is one of the trickier parts of the track to actually get right. On the approach, stay far left and brake hard just as you pass the start of the curb on the left hand side. You should look to turn in reasonably early, position your car well over the inside curb. As you drive through turn 11, keep the car pointing straight at the large tree. and then in a similar method to the first part of the chicane, position a good part of your car over the inside of the sausage curb on your exit. It's very easy to get a slide on the exit of turn 12, so try to keep your car straight as possible, aiming for the curb on the right hand side. Too much steering lock here will almost always get you sideways. On your exit of the chicane, drift wide left for the flat out right hander and try to keep a very tight line through turn 13, ensuring that you're as far right and straight as possible on the entry to the next corner. As soon as your car is straight and settled after turn 13, right around the 100-metre board, hit the brakes hard. Try to shift down aggressively to slow your car down into turn 14. Once you've got the car slowed down, look for an early apex through this corner, riding the curb with roughly 50% of your car over the inside curb. This will allow you to straighten up on the exit, ensuring you don't drift wide and into the gravel. Partially accelerate through turn 13 and ride the whole of the runoff curb on your approach to turn 14. You want a short sharp dab of the brakes as you turn in while your car's still positioned over the right hand curb. Just inside the apex here, you'll see two large sausage curbs, which you really want to avoid hitting. Try a slightly later apex on the entry. This will give you the best run down the long straight. You can run over the right hand curb to straighten your car while keeping the throttle planted on the exit. Then keep your car in the middle and left of the track to minimise your route through the kinks. Hopefully this track guide will help you improve your time around this tricky circuit. The amount of curb you take through some of the corners around Imola will really depend on the car you're driving. Front engine cars such as the Mercedes AMG Evo will allow you to ride the curbs much more aggressively, especially compared to cars such as the McLaren 720S. In fact, the best cars around Imola are both the Mercedes AMG and the Bentley Continental GT3 in my opinion. Both of these cars are slightly heavier and allow you to attack the curbs aggressively. Other cars to consider as some of the best around Imola are the Lexus RCF for its straight line speed and the BMW M6, which behaves in a similar way to the Merc. Hopefully this track guide will help you improve your time around this tricky circuit. And if it does, give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for more sim racing content. If you like this style of content such as track guides, be sure to let me know in the comments below. See you next time guys.